right, welcome back to Boring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 96, 97 like Jordan.
Part 2 of Tarrik.
That's good.
The last one we did with him was mental health. Hit like I think it was like 10K on. No, it's like 16K. Is it?
It's
17?
it's at like 16 or 17K right now. It's actually pretty dope, bro.
Yeah, you guys seem to really like that podcast. So now we're here for the part 2. Fresh new studio, fresh new guest, looking good. Still just as fresh as you came last time.
New and improved. Let's get it.
100%. All right, let's get into it. So you're wellness, you say life coach.
Life coach, yes,
Life
sir.
coach.
Yeah.
So how have you been since the last podcast?
Bro, I've been just growing, working on myself, coaching with some people, connecting. We were talking about Clubhouse. I've been on Clubhouse like crazy. I have a room I host every Friday at 7, making connections and just like I said, like I'm just young in the game right now, like of the life coaching and the speaking business. So I've just been a sponge right now and trying to absorb and grow as much as I can to continue to better myself. But yeah, it's going good.
How's the Clubhouse stuff? We mentioned a little bit about that. So you've met some crazy people.
Crazy, bro. I remember my first night on Clubhouse. My first night on Clubhouse was actually on my mother's birthday, and my mother passed away, and it was on my mother's birthday, and one of my favorite motivational speakers was Trent Shelton. So I hopped into his room first day on the Clubhouse, and then what they do is they do like a Q&A or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I went, I raised my hand, didn't think much of it, didn't think I'd get chose to ask him a question. Next thing you know, I'm talking to him, asking him a question and just asking him about life and just so and so. And then he gives me a follow back on Clubhouse, and
Well,
that was huge for me.
That's
that was huge for me.
So big numbers.
Yeah, man. And it's just crazy to show like the people that I'm connected to on Clubhouse. I got a war veteran. I've got a man that's been through so much in life. I've got a mother who lost her father, got a daughter the same day, single mother. I got a professional athlete, and like our team and just our Clubhouse room. Shout out to Carrie as well, and just everybody in Clubhouse with me. Like it's just a team of soldiers right now, and I believe that our room is just continue to grow. So if you're not on Clubhouse, hop on Clubhouse. It's lit.
Yeah, not sponsored. What how's your family? Last time we talked, you had a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is
she? Is turning 1 on, I don't know when this is gonna come out, but on June 12th. So I'll just say on June 12th she'll be 1 years old. Me and the wifey are good. We're getting married next year. Yeah, May 15th. My family, like my brothers and sisters, we're all good. We're still staying connected. But just taking it day by day. I know you don't know what that fatherhood life is like yet.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I don't plan. I'm still single, riding that single train, being single in life, bro.
Nah, that's what's up, bro.
No, you said last time.
Yeah, so what happened? Did wifey hit you up yet or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Still single, still vibing. I've had some
Flings?
instances, yeah.
Oh, okay,
but they come, they go. They try to stay, they try not to stay. Like it's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You give yourself sometimes, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but the right one is gonna. I already know the right one for you is just gonna.
I believe that manifest a wife of knowledge and wisdom.
Mm-hmm. I know you. I can tell you want like a girl that is driven, that is either supports your grind or is on her own grind. I can tell that right away.
I want, if possible, both.
Hey,
I want her to do her own thing, that I can support her. She can support me, do my own thing, like just a supportive.
Yeah, bro.
The best supportive group you see on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's true though. Like when sometimes in a relationship, when one person is growing so much and like focused, and the other person is staying so stagnant, in a relationship, sometimes you can outgrow your partner, which is sad to see sometimes. But
what do you think of the emotional connection versus like doing like work on yourself? Do you think there's a balance? Do you think like there's a peak of emotional connection, or do you think there's like there should be a balance of working on yourself and then going emotions? Does that make sense to you?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So let's say, like, for example, you guys are just emotions, right? Like, do you see there's a lot of growth in emotions?
No. Oh yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying now. I think emotions can take you so far, but sometimes like when your emotions are not going for each other. So when your emotion is anger, or when it's when you're mad, whatever, if you're continuing to just lean on that emotion, it can only do so much for you. But when the emotion is on based on love or happiness and you're good and you guys are good, it's yeah, it's fine. But sometimes you gotta have a certain amount of personal growth. And like I always say, I'm a person of faith and in the Bible, and I know not everyone is, and that's okay. It's there's always three chords in a relationship. And for me and my fiance, it's always been, us, me, her, and God. And that's always been our foundation, because when we're not stable on our own, we can rely on that source. And just like for some people that don't have that faith, when your emotions, when the love is not there, when that, like I said, like love is an action. So when the action of love is not there, it's it's gonna be that level of personal growth, or that amount that you've worked on yourselves to understand that, okay, this is just an emotion that I'm going through right now. What can we do? Like, how can I work past the pride or the situation to understand that it's going to be us versus the problem, and continue to grow?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you have you had I'm guessing you guys have had a lot of growing instances, like, where one of you hate each other and you're saying all this stuff and the other one's like, "That didn't happen," and then, like, I don't know, you guys give it some time, you come back and like, "Listen, like, it's not how it is."
Yeah, no, me and my girl have definitely been through a lot at such a young part in our relationship, because like we're young, so we're literally growing up together. So like
Mhm.
we're literally maturing and understanding like things that are small, just to keep them small, keep arguments small. And if there's a bigger issue, to just talk about it before it becomes extravagant, or when it's small, to talk about it. But we've definitely been through a lot, and it has definitely helped us in where we are today, because it's just made us that much stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. How do you guys deal with that?
Bro, I'm telling you, man,
Like,
three chords. So just understanding that having that pillar of faith for us, and every time when we're confused on what to do, and when we question our relationship, we just go back to prayer, or we go back to what we know and the love that we have for each other. Because sometimes it's not easy to love, man. It's not easy to love. So when it's hard to do the right thing, you gotta learn to do the right thing anyways.
let's say I like okay, I don't know anything about love. I don't know jack about love.
No,
What's
you
what
love your parents, right?
I think so.
You think so?
I would hope so. Yeah. I mean, but like what's the difference from like caring about someone a lot and loving them? Like, is it the same thing? Is there a difference to it? Because I can care about you. You know, I give you my time, support you, all that stuff. Some people might consider it love. Some people might consider it just caring. But like, what would your definition of like love be?
So there's definitely a different kind of pain that comes involved when when someone you love hurts you. Um, you can definitely tell if you just cared about this person a lot, or if you love them. In the past, when I've been hurt by girls or hurt other girls, it's easier to overcome or get by or get through. But when me and my fiance go through things, or because we've had on and off, and when we're off, it's like it's the worst pain. And those moments of love, when you're caught, like, bro, I'm about to get soft, but let's go. Like when
Let's
you're
hear it.
caught, like looking at each other in the eyes, and it's just like a different kind of feeling. It's something that you like, it's undescribable. Like, and even like from having a daughter, like from looking at her eyes, into her eyes, like the moment she was born, like I felt real love. Like I felt love. And when I look into my fiance's eyes, I can see that same love that we have. It's just such a spark. And it's I don't think it's gonna be found with anybody else. She's gonna love hearing that.
Oh, we can clip it.
She's gonna love hearing
Clip it.
that.
Do you think love ends or do you think it'll always be there? Or do you gotta spice it up or is there just like a basic love?
I think you can always have love for somebody, and there's different kind of loves. Like there's love where, like, I love you, like I always care about you, but we got to keep our space. We got to love each other from a distance. And there's friends in your life. There's people that you'll meet and run into that you'll learn that you need to love these people from a distance. And there's people that are good for you, that give you good energy and positive vibes, that you learn that you need to keep this love close to you, because we all have love inside of us, and we choose who we give it to, and we choose how much we receive from other people. So it's just knowing about who to love from a distance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty deep. Wow. Distant love.
Yeah, man.
That could hurt a lot.
can hurt, man. But it's like at the end of the day, we're all in this world, right? And we all have a certain love to give. And at the end of the day, you got to take what's going to serve you, what's going to move you forward, and what's not going to hold you back. Because if you're continuing to give love to other people that misuse it or hurt you, you're stealing from your own cup. There's a speaker, Lisa Nichols, and I got this from her, and she's always saying to give from a full cup. So when you continue to take from yourself, you're left feeling empty, right?
Mhm.
But when you are left feeling full and continue to give yourself, you want to give from your overflow and from what you didn't have to steal from inside.
What do you think the difference of love versus loyalty is?
Oh yeah, I saw this question, and bro, this question made me think, man. It made me really think hard. And I love versus loyalty. Loyalty being, like that person is never gonna leave your side, never betray you or anything like that. And knowing that love is something that can hurt you, something that can do you wrong, even and it's an action. So if the love is not there, you know what I mean? Because someone who loves you can still cheat on you, right? Someone who loves you can still hurt you. Someone who loves you can still lie to you. But someone who's loyal to you will never do any of those things to you. So it's a tough question for me because I also know that love is the greatest gift that we can give to someone else. So I'm so stuck in between that mix of loyalty and love. I just wanted both, and I have it both. So
Like,
that's my
yeah.
answer.
Does it scare you sometimes that you're not married? Like, it's not like official. Does that ever?
No, because I felt married. I felt married for like the last 2 years.
Okay.
It's just not. It's not official. Official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just haven't signed the papers, haven't had the whole wedding, but I felt married for like the last couple of years. But yeah,
Does it terrify you that I don't know if this is terrifying or this is awesome, but you guys will be together for the next how like what 60 years?
yeah. I mean, I can see how some people can look at that and be terrified because it's like some people are like, oh bro, there's so much out there, man. You're so young. Why are you giving yourself up? You can be losing so much. But I just look at it as like, I got my supporter with me. I got my family. She's been there with me through the struggle, and she's gonna be there with me through the triumph. And we made it through so much, and like I don't want to lose that. I know she doesn't want to lose that, and we're stronger together. At the end of the day, we're stronger together, and we're trying to break generational curses. We're trying to do so much in our life, and we have so much going for us that I don't I don't think I'll find that in anybody else. And I'm happy. I'm blessed to have her with me for the rest of my life, God willing. Like hopefully that's a lot of years. So we have a family. I haven't seen marriage in my family before. She hasn't seen marriage in her family before. So what we're doing right now is like at a young age is amazing. We're just trying to do it, man. And that's how I look at it. And it's all about perspective, how you choose to look at things in your life. Everything comes down to perspective. And there's so much people that are miserable with their partner saying, oh, I have to deal with this for the next 20, 40 years of my life, 60 years of my life. Why are you choosing that person then? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
you gotta find someone that's gonna help you move forward and grow. Yeah.
No, it's facts. Yeah, like yeah. Is it all about feelings or is it about growth?
Both. Definitely both. Like obviously like when you're in a relationship, sometimes feelings get hurt. Sometimes your feelings are blessed, but and sometimes I can't always be there for her and she can't always be there for me. So we got to understand and know that we have to have a certain amount of growth with each other and growth in a relationship and growth in ourselves to know that like when our feelings are not there, when we're tired or when we're sad or we can't continue to give each other like the action of love or whatever it is or the feeling that we're looking for, that is time to just work on ourselves, to understand that we're growing, that we're not every day is going to be perfect, but yeah.
How do you deal with the balance?
uh you just day by day, you just take it day by day, and you learn from the good days and you learn from the bad days. Yeah.
Yeah, I admire that you guys are going for that full commitment because for me, so my parents have been together, I think 29 years, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, like the only thing that I know of is commitment.
Oh, that's
I just
blessed.
know of commitment.
That's blessed.
So like some people struggle when like their parents are separated.
Hmm.
They don't understand like to them as a young person, like okay, I guess it's normal to if things don't work out once, go
Hmm.
find someone else.
Yeah. And that's such a blessing, and that's something that like you got to understand that is a huge blessing because I know so many people that haven't seen that model of a man and a woman in like one household like being together uh and all that. And I feel like I feel like that's another motivation. It's just for my daughter to see that and to be able to just see like her mother and her father together happy, and to look for that same kind of love when she's older. Because so many girls, we hear about daddy issues all the time,
Yeah.
mother issues all the time. So I don't want that to be an excuse for her.
I know that some personal experience when I was younger, it was always like hard because I think it's like the first like what 10 to 15 years of a child, the parents are like the most stressed out. You can always see like I saw my parents stressed out a lot.
Yeah. I can definitely see that. I
So
can
it's almost like here it comes, get ready.
Yeah, I can definitely see that coming. I'm just trying to prepare myself as best as possible to deal
How,
with that stress.
yeah, like well, my dad was always traveling, so it was always just my mom home by herself.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stress on both parties where it's like my dad's like out here trying to support and my mom's at home supporting. They're two different support systems. It's just one isn't experiencing what the other one's experiencing.
Yeah, and they're both going through two different things. Like, cause I experienced that a little. Like, I still work my 9 to 5, and I still do my life coaching and my speaking. But I understand that my fiance is with my daughter all day, um, and she has a different kind of tired, a different kind of annoyed and stressed out feeling. And then I have a tired, I've been at work all day kind of thing, and I'm just trying to provide for you. And when we don't understand what we're both trying to do for each other, it can cause stress and can cause arguments because I'll come home and I'm like, you know what, like I'm tired, like I just want to relax. But she's been at home all day with my daughter and she feels the same way. So I can definitely see where the stress comes, and especially time away when you're trying to work on something on the side, like what I'm trying to do, it's harder because you need some extra time even after work, even after whatever. You need that extra time to work on your dream, to feel it.
Yeah, no, I vibe with that 100%. Feel that something that I've learned. Maybe you can relate to this, but it's like studying. Learning how to study is one of probably the hardest things to do
Learning how to study is one of the hardest things to do.
because then when you learn, right, it's easy. Like building this studio wasn't easy.
I believe that, man. If you guys see the studio, I believe that.
Like the whole underlying process of following something that you want, you always want to minimize the workload. You always want to be like, I want to be really good at this, so it just becomes like this, like just
Yeah,
like you need it, snap, done.
yeah.
Versus being like, oh, I gotta put all this work into this effort. Once you get over that thought of like, oh, this is so much effort, this is so much work, it becomes something else becomes greater, and that becomes a minimal thing. So it's like you're constantly just pushing those hard things that you think is hard to the
Mhm,
easy spots of life
mhm.
and then moving up. It's like people who I don't know, did you ever do like math in school?
Terrible at math.
Terrible?
Still am.
For example, like when you get something that's so easy that you put it off,
Mhm,
is the same thing as like you shouldn't put those things off. You should get them done instantly because then it's gonna make sure that in the future, if you have harder projects,
mhm,
you're gonna get them done.
mhm. That's 100%. Well, how does that KD quote go? Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So like literally what you're just saying, some people are so naturally gifted that we knock it off, that we don't continue to work on that craft. Like how if we were using the example of math, say if like a lot of people are naturally kind of good at math and better than other people, but if they have the mindset that like I'm just always going to be better than people, the people that are continuing to work hard are going to steadily move forward and pass them, and next thing you know you're going to be struggling on a math test being like, dang, I should have studied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's the vibe. Like you gotta continually learn, and even if you're repeating the same process over and over and over, just like get good at it.
Exactly.
Can't rely on people. You got to do it yourself. Like that's what you got to love yourself.
Yeah, man, 100%. And like love the process as well. And that's one thing I'm learning, man, is just learning to love the process. Because like you said, like learning how to study or learning how to become good at something, you want it right away. And it's hard when you're not seeing the results right away. So and then you tend to make the process ugly for yourself. But when you learn that even in those ugly and in those hard moments, that there's so much beauty in that, there's so much growth in that, and there's so much development in that, and that's where the actual growing and the developing of yourself is actually happening. That's when you can learn to love the process and learn to trust it more. Because what like if every day was a struggle and sucked for you, and let's say God forbid you never became what you wanted to become, you wasted so many days of your life being angry, being miserable, being sad. And then say if you get there, you're still gonna look back at it and be like, bro, like I should have enjoyed this process more. I should have learned to love every single day. And that's just how I feel about it. And that's just what I want to continue to share with people and continue. I always tell myself, man, because I find myself falling victim to that mindset so much of just, bro, like, come on, I'm working hard. Like when is this breakthrough going to happen for me? When is it gonna happen? But then I have to remind myself that, it's not in my timing, it's in my faith's timing and God's timing. That everything is happening for a reason, to serve a better reason, and just continuing to learn to love every single day, because you don't know when that day also is going to be taken from you. Yeah, and that's just how I feel.
I feel that yeah. What do you well, I mean, it's a learning process too, right?
Yeah, big time.
So you get to look back at like the things I've done in the past, what, 6 months? Learning. I'm learning just as much as everyone else. I mean, I've been doing this for like what, a year, I think, coming up to a year.
Bro, you need to like shout yourself out more, like just the consistency of like your podcast and like the investment of like this space, and that takes like a certain amount of belief to be that consistent and to invest in yourself and to consistently show up and find people to come on your podcast, or people coming to you and just being so open. Like you got to actually show yourself more love for like what you're doing and what you're building and building for yourself.
Yeah, that's something that I'm struggling with, trying to get done with.
Hmm.
I like there's a lot more hiccups going on in the background. A lot of people don't see like all the equipment. Like this studio probably has around realistically close to like $30,000 of stuff going on.
This is what I mean. Like how many of you guys can say you've invested $30,000 into yourself? You know what I mean? Besides school, school doesn't count.
School doesn't count. Cut.
But like that's crazy, man. And not even mention like just the editing too, right? That probably takes a while.
Everything takes like even like my laptop at one point wasn't working and I was running into issues. I had to go buy a new one, so I just bought a desktop.
Mm,
Like that graphics card, you can't even find it anymore. It's gone.
that's what I
It's
mean,
because of
man.
all the hard stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and you lose motivation sometimes, and you get motivation. You meet a lot of people, and you see maybe they can help. But at the something I've learned is at the end of the day, it's like this is my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be like the number one podcast in Canada. Like that's the goal. That's the end
Exactly.
goal.
Yeah.
Podcast that everyone in Canada knows of, and
Mm-hmm.
then we're out in LA at some point, maybe give or take. But we're always known as a Canadian podcast.
Yeah, and like it's gonna happen for you. Just maybe not when you want it to happen or when you think it's gonna happen, but it's 100% gonna happen. And the deciding factor in that is just gonna be you following following each and every single day, trusting in the process and staying consistent.
You gotta
And
commit.
gotta
That's what it is.
commit big time. And that's for anybody and anything, man. If you really have a dream, if you really want to do something better for your life or for people in your life or for generations of people to come, for your legacy, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be found the next day, and you're not going to wake up and have it. You got to work every single day consistently, continue to trust in the process, believe in yourself, and work on yourself, and learn to love and enjoy the process.
You can lose motivation. Like
Easily. Easily.
I've lost motivation. Lost motivation tons of times. And then I'm like, whatever. But I'm like, well, I made this podcast so I could keep motivation.
Exactly.
You gotta have those,
Exactly.
you gotta have those pieces in your life that you come back to and you're like, yo, this is what I'm wanting to do. And then create other pieces in your life. Like you have life coaching, I have podcasting, I have YouTube. I mean, COVID definitely struck a nerve.
Yeah.
I definitely, lost some motivation when everything just went. And I was like, I gotta create my own motivation now. Like I am the motivation.
Exactly. And there's a speaker, and I really wish I can shout them out right now, that like I first heard it, and it's just he just like, shat on motivation. Like motivation is like it's nothing. It's kind of dead. In the moment it's good, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna always feel motivated to do something. So if you continue just to wait on the days that you're motivated to do something,
Ooh.
you're the average. You're the average of
Yep.
people that continue to do something.
You need the hope. Like, I know I I love encouraging people, but I can only encourage them so much before it's like, "Yo, I'm spending more than that 10% of time that I give to most people." Where
Exactly.
it's like my time is not becoming your time, and it's like I'm babying you to do stuff, but it's hard. It's hard to motivate people when they don't have that in them.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, there's a ton of people who would love to just surround themselves with me just because they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, he's doing stuff." I bet you there's a lot of people who would love to just surround themselves with you, like good energy. You're doing stuff, you're pushing things you love,
Mhm.
and it can be taken advantage of really easily.
Yeah.
Something that I've learned.
And that's why, like, going back is like you got to learn to love people from a distance, because there's people that may have the same dream as you but may not have the same work ethic as you, or and the days that, that they're not feeling it but you are, or when you guys are both not feeling it, they're gonna drag you down with you. Say, bro, like it's okay to take, it's okay to take this week off. It's okay
It's
to do it.
draining, yeah.
And they're gonna constantly bring up things that aren't serving your future, aren't serving your dream. So when you find, that's why I like on Clubhouse, man, like I surround myself with people that are motivated as well, people that inspire me and push me and give fuel me up with that motivation that I needed, or that I know that is there, but it just needs to be brought out.
It's hard to do it during COVID. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
It's really hard to stay motivated if like nobody else is doing it. Like a bunch of my social media friends, they just stop posting. They're like, I see no point.
Yeah.
No one else is doing it. I'll come back when everyone else is doing it, or they slow down.
Mhm. I feel like in the next couple of years, or whenever it's supposed to happen, I feel like so many people that stayed on their grind during this lockdown and this pandemic
Oh, blessed.
are their fruit, like, of the seed that they planted is gonna start blooming in the next couple of years, because they chose to put in the work and not give up on their dream and still go after it. And even if they saw nothing during this whole pandemic, I feel like that same seed that they planted in the next year, couple of years, 3 or 4 years, whenever it is, it's just gonna blossom, bro.
100%. Even this will be blossoming pretty soon too. We have I almost saying we have stuff in the works, but we also have things in the works.
Always, man.
Always. Like we
Always.
definitely took a little break, had a little thought process going through my own, mental issues, just like
Uh-huh.
everybody else.
Everybody.
Like yelling at people, being sad, depressed. Are you happy? I have it on my whiteboard for anyone who's wondering. I'm always, are you happy?
Yeah, I can generally say I'm happy, but I can also say I'm not happy every day. And I always tell people, like, confidence, belief, peace, and happiness are all skills. They're not talents. There's not something you're born with. It's not something that you wake up with. It's something that you have to work on and go out there to discover. Because if I waited for the days where I want to wake up and feel happy, bro, I'd limit myself, because I wake up knowing that I have to go to work. And I was taught I got to wake up knowing that I get to go to work, because there's people in the world that
Yeah, it's
don't have a
true.
job. There's people in the world that don't have money. So knowing that if I want to be happy, I got to do things that are going to make me happy. I got to find happy people. I got to read happy things. I got to put happy things into my mind. I got to work for it, and I got to receive it, because once you realize that the emotion or the state that you're in, you don't have to stay in there, man. That's life changing.
It's brilliant. Like, I mean, some people have trust issues, some people have abandonment issues, some people have commitment issues.
We all have our issues.
Like once you're out of that issue, you're just like, whoa, life is not what I thought it was.
And yeah, and that's what I think it's all about. I think it's all about trying to figure out for ourselves how fast we can get ourselves out of that feeling, because I feel like the people that are good and that we see happiness and joy and peace and success in are the people that figured out how to get out of that emotion or that state of sadness, anger, depression, or whatever it is, as fast as possible.
And it's not even like something I've learned. It's like it's not like a constant hype up. Like I can feel good. Talking to you is gonna feel good.
Mhm.
The podcast is gonna end. You know what happens after that?
Exactly.
Am I still doing my thing? Am I still on my grind? Am I still just on my one thought? Like something a lot of people don't realize, but like besides boring life, right?
Mhm.
The best points of my life is when nothing is on my mind.
Yes. I feel that, bro. I
Like
feel that.
it's when there's no girls in my mind, there's no business on my mind, there's no stress. Like
Mm.
I'm a fairly blessed individual. Like I'm able to spend money
Mhm.
freely. I'm able to do what I want whenever I want.
Mhm.
So it limits a lot of like the basic stress that people have on their life,
Mhm.
which is, I guess you could say I'm financially free.
Mhm.
But the downside is I have so much freedom.
Mm.
What am I doing with my
Mhm.
freedom? Am I chasing people? Am I chasing friendships? Am I like growing with myself? Am I like, what am I doing with that freedom? Like, is there just one person constantly on my mind? Is there just two people? Or is
Mhm.
it me? Am I on my mind
Mm.
at every given point? Which is like, where do you keep that triangle of time? Who's on that time? I don't like people wasting my time. It's been like my number one thing in life. It's like, don't waste my time because it's so
Mm.
valuable.
Bro,
Can't buy it.
I relate to that so much of just knowing that, I've always been a person that has always had so many things on my mind and just always thinking about the next thing that I realized, and this is gonna be big for you, that we're stealing the gift of now and this of today. So it's like
Oh yeah.
the present day is the gift. You know what I mean? You receive a present, you get a gift. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the present day is the
Feel that.
gift. And when we worry about tomorrow, we rob and steal ourselves the joy of today. So one thing I'm starting to realize is just to be more in the moment, to be more engaged and stop thinking about what's next. Like on this podcast right now, my time, my mind, and everything is focused on you. I know I have stuff to deal with after. I got to put my daughter to bed. I got to go clean up the house and I got to get work done tonight as well. But right now in this moment, I'm not gonna let what I have to do
Affect.
steal from this.
Yeah. The
And
now.
and it's something also I have to constantly remind myself because it's so easy to just get caught off guard in your mind and just start thinking about so much things.
Just everything.
So much
That
things.
one mistake you made 10 years ago.
Literally, man. You gotta learn to just let some things go.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks if you don't get closure on things because you're always wondering, like, what could I have done?
Hmm.
But hey, if it's affecting you mentally, go to the source.
Yeah. Go to
And
the
if the source
source.
doesn't want to talk to you, I guess that sucks.
Yeah, we all have so much healing that needs to be done in all of us. There's been so many experiences or circumstances that have shaped us, and like that's how we become who we are. And once we realize that those circumstances don't define who we are, that we define who we are, that's when so much in our life will change for us and so much can happen because we have that belief now that we are the storytellers of our future.
Hmm.
And if we believe that we can change whatever is happening around us and what has ever happened to us and make that work for us, everything is gonna blossom.
What do you think about people who like enter someone's life trying to like fix it?
I feel like there's people that enter people's life to fix it and they were there for a reason and for a purpose and they do that job. But I feel like if you're trying to enter someone's life and fix it without being asked to fix it, like that's not for you. That's not your job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you might be making that person feel worse because what if what you're seeing in them is something they never thought about? Like say, hey, like what if this person has, like uh three eyes? Let's say he has three eyes and they're not thinking about their third eye. And like, bro, you have three eyes. Like, let me do something to fix that. And they're like their whole life, and maybe they saw it as a good thing, like, yo, I have three eyes, but now you're trying to come and fix it, and they're like, wow, you know what I mean? It's like I saw that as a blessing, but now I guess everyone else sees that as weird,
Right?
for lack of a better example. But
I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
you get you
I
get what I'm
think
trying to say.
everyone gets the point.
Yeah,
Like if no one notices it, don't mention it unless they
exactly,
ask you to mention it.
exactly.
That's something I learned is like helping people. I used to be like, "Oh, I can help everyone." And then I realized I'm like, I'm just being intrusive. I'm invading people's space.
Yeah.
Like I'm not respecting their boundaries. Something that I think a lot of people fail to realize is like, dude, it's so easy to mimic someone's boundaries. Like, I'm not gonna overstep for you. Like, let's
Mhm.
say you welcome me into your house.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna truck the mud in from my shoes and start walking all around your house. I'm gonna take my shoes off.
Exactly.
Like, hey, and then like I'm not gonna overstep. Like, I'm not gonna start touching things. I'm not gonna start moving things around because like this is your home, right?
Mhm.
It's like the same thing with my studio. Like, if someone came in here and started touching stuff, I'd be like, "Yo, are you good?" Like this is my thing. This is like my baby. This is the thing I put all my time and money into. Where like you didn't touch it. You didn't help me build this.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Just want to be a part of something.
that's facts, man. Like just stay where you're welcomed.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's fascinating to me how like some people can overstep boundaries and some people maybe it's social cues. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going with this.
No, I get you, bro, and I feel that there's certain people that try to fix everything, and even there's people that are attracted to fixing things and people, so that they see something and they want to fix it, but they end up hurting themselves more because they're the person that might need the fixing.
Yeah,
You get that?
yeah. I don't know how to personally, maybe you can help. How do you when you meet someone and you're just being yourself and you feel like it's constantly hurting them,
Hmm.
how do you deal with that? But, like, they always wanna be around you, but you're like, "Yo, like, I'm hurting you. Why do you wanna be around me?"
Oh, wow, that's a new question, bro. I feel like if you're constantly hurting somebody and they want to be around you, I feel like from from both sides, it's a take a look at yourself kind of moment. Because if you're a person that, if you're being yourself, but sometimes you don't know, you don't realize you're hurting people, you don't see it, and you don't know what you're doing wrong. And it takes a moment of realization and calling people closest to you, like, hey, bro, do I do this a lot? Do I tend to make fun of people a lot and I just think it's funny, but they're actually getting hurt? Because a lot of people are like that. They'll
Mhm.
joke about somebody and that person's actually hurt, but they don't realize they're hurting them. And then there's people that um surround themselves with people that are rude to them and make fun of them, and they're the clown of the group, and they still choose to hang around those people because maybe they don't think they can find more friends, or maybe they think that they won't find another guy. So I feel like it's kind of a moment for both parties to take a look at themselves and
Be like,
wonder,
"What's going on?"
yeah, and,
Yeah.
and, and wonder, am I doing something wrong? Is there something wrong with me? And if not, then I don't know.
No, I feel that, yeah, I 100% feel that. I don't like, I had an instance, I guess, with, like, a friend of mine, um, yeah, like, the other day, I don't know, it was, like, a very, like, negative energy, but to me, because 'cause I've known him for so long,
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, he's just having a rough day."
Hmm.
But then I put some thought into it, and I was like, "That was very uncalled for."
Yeah, man. It's like taking a moment to be like, oh man, dang, did I say that? Or did he just say that? And even for myself, bro, like sometimes we just get triggered quick when we don't realize that we're putting that onto people that don't deserve that. And that's why I put on my Instagram, I was like, being hurt isn't an excuse to hurt other people. Just because your feelings was hurt doesn't mean that you get to go and hurt someone else's feelings, or you're gonna be in a bad mood, because what if this person was so excited to hang out with you today and you're carrying all this anger, all this energy with you, and it's just rubbing off to everybody else, and energy is contagious, man.
It is, like, how's my energy right now? Is it low or is it
Right
high?
right now, man, bro, in the beginning, you're like, "Yeah, let's get this." But now it's litty, and, like, we're getting this going because we're both talking about things that are gonna push us forward, and, like, we're both on, I think, like, such a level of respect here because we're both on a grind, we're both trying to pursue something, and whenever you get around people like that, there's always gonna be a certain level of energy that is matched and contagious, and the people that you wanna be around.
The people who are pushing you so far, yeah,
Mhm.
and that's, like, what you said, you gotta love people at a distance because, someone's gonna see that energy and they're gonna be like, "Well, abuse it."
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm gonna abuse it, but I don't want to be at the same level as you. So at the end of the day, they're stealing from you.
Yeah,
They're stealing from
and they're taking it and they're just putting it in a blender and putting it in the highest gear and watching it go
you. Yeah.
putting you through the ringer without even you knowing.
Hmm.
That's where time comes into place. That's why my number one thing is just, like, respect your time. Like, my time is so valuable to me, and it's always been the one thing I've said in the podcast because it's like, you can't buy time.
Yeah.
I'm Bill Gates. I can't buy time.
Exactly.
What can I do with my time other than, work on myself and be like, what mistakes have I made today? Where can I go on for tomorrow? Like,
Hmm.
how do I fix this? How do I do that? How do I get into this
Hmm.
without being hurt? You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. I feel like time is what probably the most valuable thing in this world that is has no price for it. Uh, it's kind of crazy how it works like that. You can't buy time, but it's probably the most valuable thing out
I
there.
think it's the most valuable thing.
Yeah, and there's two ways we can use our time, and every day we have a choice to either use it to serve us or use it against us, and who we spend our time with. And that's why I'm starting to realize so much that my time is so valuable, and I can't be giving it to everybody.
It's true.
Can't be giving it to everybody, and you can't be doing nothing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, it sucks because COVID has given so much people free time that they're doing things because they're bored. I did a lot of dumb things because I was bored,
Yeah.
and it's affected me a lot more than I thought it would.
Mhm.
But it's because like my mindset was like, oh, there's always stuff going on. I can make a few mistakes here,
Mhm. And
but there's not anything
oh,
going
sorry.
on.
Not even like, not even just doing things that are bored. Like a lot of people have free time, and like on the first podcast, that's when I like talked about it. Like when I had free time and freedom, I was alone with my thoughts. And there's
Dangerous.
so much people right now during this pandemic, and I know I touched so many hearts when I said this, that when we're alone and our thoughts and by ourselves, and once we realize that sometimes our thoughts about ourselves aren't the best and that they hurt and they hurt us, man, I think it's a sign to develop and to work on ourselves. And I feel like COVID has done a lot, and I've seen it firsthand. I've seen people lose so much faith and hope in, because they're not able to go out every weekend and drink or surround themselves with friends or go play basketball or soccer or whatever it is. No, you have to stay at home and you have to be alone with yourself, and you have to find out if you really like yourself or not. And
Gotta love yourself before you love someone else.
exactly. And I feel like the most important person to love is yourself. And I know that sounds greedy because, I have a fiance, I have a daughter. Um
They gotta look up to you though.
exactly. And if
Like,
I don't love sorry, bro. And if
no,
I if
continue. Yeah,
if I don't love myself, I can't love you properly and I can't give you the love that you deserve. And when you're weak, since I'm such a person that loves myself so much and I'm so strong, I can give you so much more because, like I said, I'm not left feeling empty.
yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
that.
what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
No, that's dude. Like at the end of the day, like I remember talking to a friend of mine. He's like whenever I go into things, I always try to look up to people
Mhm.
because I'm always like, yo, I need to learn, and somebody might tell me something that I need to hear.
Mm.
So I'm always looking up to people.
Yeah.
When people start looking up to me, it gets a little weird.
No, bro, but you have to understand that you have people looking up to you
All the
big
time,
time,
yeah.
big time.
And a friend of mine the other day, he's like, I can't remember what he said to me, but like, yeah, people envy you. And in my head, I'm like, why would you envy me? Like, I'm literally the most stressed out dude every given point in the day.
It's because,
I'm trying to figure out
yeah,
things.
like it's because we don't see that in other people. Like no one could go into my head and see or read my thoughts, or see what I go through in a day to day thing. But yet they'd want to live my life.
Exactly.
And a lot of people want to buy the product or have what they have without knowing what they've gone through or what they go through. So before you want someone else's life, like understand and realize how blessed your own life can be. And that's just the main thing.
It's like the most annoying thing to me is when people are just like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, just
And
don't have fun with my life.
I used to be such a victim of that, always saying I just want to have fun. But now I like to live life in so much in purpose. Like when I'm
Yeah.
having fun, I want it to be purpose. Like
Like you want this to be some kind of growth. You want there to be
yeah,
like we're not just having fun. Like
yeah,
we're getting deep.
yes.
We're putting some real thought into our
Yeah.
life. We're not just like being like, hey guys, let's go have a Getty like high school, haha.
Exactly. And even when I let loose and I might have a couple of drinks with friends or hang out like that, I want to feel in my heart that I earned it. Like that I you know what, I've been working hard and everything that I do is intentional. That's the word I was looking for. So when I want to go out, I want to be intentional about it. I want to say, okay, I'm planning to go out this day. Let's get a lot of stuff done. And let's get in the best mood possible, because if I'm going out to hang out with friends and I'm like, dang, I should have got this done. Or, I didn't do anything this weekend. I'm out here having fun when I can be working. Like I don't deserve to be doing this. And that's a mindset that some people relate to, some people don't.
I don't relate to that.
So and everyone is different. Some people that work, 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 or whatever it is. After I actually want to hear what it is that you don't relate to.
Actually repeat that again because I'm trying to process it.
So for me, whenever I want to let loose or have friends over or go for a couple of drinks or do something fun,
Hmm.
I want to be intentional about it. I want to make sure that when I'm there, that I worked for it, that I got everything done that I needed to get done, because I'm a person that needs to have that side of me, to have that fun. And I don't want to be a person that's full of only work, 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 or, giving to people, giving to people, giving to people, and not giving to myself.
Yeah.
If you
No, I
get
feel
that.
you mean. It's It's like this,
Yeah.
if I follow. You know when you're in elementary and all you do is give to people? Like,
Uh-huh.
you remember that feeling?
Yeah.
Just giving, like, "Oh, I'll give it to you. You're my best friend. Oh, you're my best friend." Like,
Yeah.
everyone's my best friend. The whole
Mhm.
world's my best friend.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you realize, like, no, it's not my best friends. It's just people
Mhm.
living their own life, making their
Mhm.
own decisions and choices.
Yeah.
And then you get, like, further into life, and then you get into, like, after you leave high school or college, you realize, "Whoa, like, I don't see the same people all the time." Like, I'm constantly I have, like, maybe one good friend now.
Yeah.
Like, where'd they all go?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's that concept of, like, what you're saying.
Yeah. And also, like, it's not even a bad thing though to have one real friend. It's not. It's such. It's actually a blessing in a way because you know how real that person is, and you know the people that you surround yourself with are the closest. And
Gotta speak life. Like, I
yeah.
can't people something I fell into is, like, I don't know if it was just, like, a negative headspace, but, like, some reason I was like, "Yo, why am I, like, almost, like, being negative?"
Hmm.
Like, who am I surrounding myself with that's causing me to, like, be so,
Hmm.
like this? And that's when I had to stop and be like, "Yo, I need to sit down with myself and be like, where did I go wrong? Like, why am I not using wisdom? Why am I not using understanding? Why am I not using grace? Like, why am I not doing the things that are, like, my core values? Like,
Mm.
where'd they go?"
Yeah. Grace, man. That was Grace is huge, but 100%, man. And I think we got to start normalizing that we all get in those headspaces because there's people that get in those headspaces and they think that something is wrong with them
Mhm.
because they get that way, and everybody gets that way. But the one thing that I just push on is just to find ways to get out of that as soon as possible. Find people that help you get out of that as soon as
Sometimes you just
possible.
need hope. Like,
Exactly.
hope. Hope is probably it hurts a lot to have hope,
Yeah.
but it's an amazing thing because at the end of the day, I hope you succeed in life. Like, I hope
Yeah.
you get everything you want. Like, if you want another kid, I hope you have the kid you want. I hope the kid becomes the most successful person that you're proud of to look at.
Hmm.
Because hope is like it's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like if we really lose on hope, we lose out on so much in life. Um, like when we, if say if we in this pandemic, if from the start we had no hope things would get better, do you know what the world would be looking like today? Bro, there'd be people fighting in the grocery stores, on the
So
streets. But it's because we all had that little bit of hope, even when we didn't see it, that things are eventually gonna get better, that we listened to the government, that maybe that we stayed home, that
that one's up to you.
whatever you wore a mask, maybe whatever, right? That we
Yeah.
listened to the government to a certain amount because we had a little bit of hope that things would get better. But if we didn't have hope, and if we compare it to our life, if we don't have hope for our future, and that's why, God forbid, and RP to all the people that took their life, that's a real thing.
That's I think it was the highest. It was higher than COVID count, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure.
think it was the highest deaths for suicides within the past year. I remember having a conversation, like a podcast with someone. I don't know if
Wow.
that's still true, but yeah,
That's and
suicide rate has gone up.
And that's sad. And like just what I was saying, like when we compare hope to our lives and we look at all the people that have took their own life, and when you really go down to the main reason, it's because they didn't have hope that things would get better. And so when we lose that hope, we kind of lose everything.
Mhm.
Because all of us that are still living and wake up each day, we have hope for something. And even if we don't know what it is right now, we're still hoping for something better. And it's all about just believing in that hope and trusting it and discovering what that hope is, what that is for you.
Do you have a really easy time reading people?
I feel like it's a gift, man. It's like it's kind of a blessing that came apart with me and why I'm doing what I'm doing as a life coach and as a speaker, and why I love working one on one with people, because I do believe I have a good sense of reading people.
Same. I feel like even looking at people, I feel like I always have like a connection. I'm like, yo, you're gonna be in my life for a long time. I just don't know why.
Yeah, and that's such a real thing. Like so much people I meet and like on Clubhouse, on bro, Clubhouse is crazy, and just in real life.
So crazy.
And I talk to people and I'm like, I don't know what this is right now, but I know we're gonna be working together in the future, or I know that I'm gonna crossroads pathways again with you someday on this earth.
100%. It's yeah, I don't know. It's such a it's a nice thing to have to understand people, but at the same time, it's like it sucks
Yeah.
because it's like you know someone's going through something and you're like, I can't help you all the way, but I can encourage you. Like you said, love 'em from a distance
Hmm.
as much as I can within the next moment. Don't empty your glass.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say, because I really want people that have hope, you can always help someone that wants help. The people that you can't help are the people that don't want help. Or
Facts.
because what I do, I help people and what they need. And the people that want the help and work for it are the people that will see the results and get what they're looking for. But the people that complain and maybe don't ask for help, I can't step, like, what were we talking about earlier? I can't come and just fix you. I can't come,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta ask for that help and don't be afraid to ask for that help.
I think that's like I think if people who actually want to help people, I would say just encourage them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say help them, like encourage them.
Wow, that's huge, bro.
The one thing that I really don't understand is when like people come into my life and they think they know me. And I'm like, no.
You know a part of me, maybe.
You know the superficial side or the side that I'm showing you, but like when you're trying to be like, oh, I know you as a person, like I know you.
Mhm.
And they start telling you about things, be like, oh, well, your friend's like this, like, oh, like you're like this because of that.
Mhm.
It makes me like be like, why are you crossing the line? That's like boundaries that usually you wean into over like years. Like right now, I'm not going to tell you anything about you because, to be honest, I've had 2 podcasts. I think I hung out with you back in the day a little bit,
Yeah,
but I can't be like, oh, you decided to have a kid because you didn't know what you're doing, right?
exactly.
I can't say that
Yeah, you
because
can't.
like I don't know you that well.
Yeah, and
That was a
and
horrible example, but
there's like there's ways in kind of doing that. Someone, I feel like if you really, I don't feel like you can know someone like that unless you've maybe have a relationship with them. But I feel like you can understand people. You can understand what they've gone through. You can relate to them. But knowing someone is different in saying like I know you. It's better to say, I can relate to you. I've experienced something similar to that before. And it's a kind of a choice of words that you want to use with people before you offend people. Because sometimes, bro, people get really offended when you say I know you. Like, no, you don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know anything about me.
facts.
So it's gotta be careful a little bit.
I've had some people be like, "Oh, you know me." I'm like, "Mm, I've only known you for like a month."
Exactly.
I'm not sure how to respond to those things. I'm like, "No, fam, I barely know you." And then they're gonna be like, "What? What? Tell me it's a lie?" It's like, "No, let's give us some time."
Yeah, and trust a lot. I feel like you can't really know someone you don't trust or doesn't have trust with you. And the people that you really open up to are the people that you have the most trust with.
It takes a long time. Like, I do you just trust people when you meet them?
No,
Okay,
not right away.
good. I'm glad that I'm not trusted here because I have a freedom of saying whatever I want,
Yeah,
which is nice. Are you comfortable or are you like on the fence or like somewhat comfortable?
I really want to be a little bit better because I realized in my life and a lot of things that
No, like
sh-
right now.
like in this
Yeah.
in this room. Do I trust you?
Yeah. No, are you comfortable?
I'm comfortable. Yes.
Okay. But you understand there's like restrictions to that comfortability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay. Some people who are just way too comfortable,
Right away.
a little weird, a little scary,
Yeah.
a little like tiptoeing. Like, what's going on?
For me, it's just I just like, how are you like that? Like for me, it's more of a I just want to know because I've never been that way. So when I see people like that, I'm like, yo,
Curious.
how are you just like so comfortable? Like,
Like, what am I a shield to you?
yeah, like how did you be
How
like
did
that?
that happen? Like, but those are the people that I'm almost terrified of
Really?
because I'm a straightforward guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm be like, why are you so comfortable? Like
Mm.
become uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna be like, oh, I offended him. And then do they take it personally to heart? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and I mean it's what you're comfortable with. So like for someone that's like that and it's comfortable for me, I'm just like, whoa, like how are you like that? Because I'm not like that. I can't just go into any place and be myself. But I mean, sorry. No, I can't just go into any place and act like this is my home. You know what I mean? But I can be myself and I can
Do you ever,
talk from the heart.
do you ever front with people when you first meet them just so you understand their boundaries? Or do
Uh,
you always just walking in there being like, boom, this is me. I'm the dog. What's up?
okay, yeah, I definitely have a little bit of I'm a little bit held back and laid back when I'm first meeting people,
Makes sense. Yeah.
and I just really want to get to know people, and like I like to get a good read off of people. And it's sometimes I wish I wasn't like that in some situations because there's genuine good people, but it takes me a little bit longer to, to let loose or
I agree.
to let loose.
No, I agree. Like when people are comfortable around me and I'm not comfortable around them, that's what confuses me.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you see that I'm mad and comfortable around you and you're comfortable and like you're not doing anything about it? You're just like, oh, I'm here. Haha.
No, I'm literally telling you it's
I'll get it.
because they don't see that you're uncomfortable. Like I know people like that there's a person in the room that's not saying nothing, very quiet. And there's one person I will just keep talking and talking and talking and saying whatever. And it's literally because they actually just don't know.
They
Like
actually just don't
they just
understand.
don't understand. And like I just want to say I'm not hating on anybody. If you're like this person, if you're like that person, you're both a human being. You're both gonna have your goods and your bads, but there's no one in this world that can judge you. And
There's a lot of people that could.
there's people that can judge you, but at the end of the day, their opinion of who you are doesn't shape you or form who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that clear for people that are listening to this and be like,
What?
I'm
Huh?
are they talking about me?
Me? I've
Am
been
I that
personally attacked.
person? Yeah. So, don't worry about it.
Camera guy's like, haha, that's not me.
You gave us a laugh like, yeah, I think that you were talking about me.
He's like, yo, I'm too comfortable. I need to become uncomfortable right now. So I stiffen it up, like clicking cues, like yeah, those are always the craziest people to me. But I think I'm gonna wrap the podcast there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it, bro. Man, this was great, bro. I'm always happy to come on this podcast and come through, and like I genuinely mean that. So, like I said, I have a busy life and you have a busy life. So whenever, bro,
I'm
just hit
always
me up.
down. We've been in the making for like what months,
Yeah,
but I've had
bro.
so much like you can see, got lights,
Yeah, man.
got this. Like everything is just taking time.
Yeah, I'm busy, bro. But I'll definitely, bro, always down to have a conversation around growth and around anything because I feel like our generation needs this a lot. Um,
100%. They need
there
to hear this.
we need way more voices talking about every because young adults, man, like we go through it. We need way more voices doing it. So I'm always happy to come through and spread the love with you, bro.
I love it. I respect it. Check out Tarrik on Instagram, Tarrik Anderson,
Yes, sir.
life coach. You can find him on Clubhouse as well. Uh, drop a like, subscribe. Bye.
Easy.